What is going on, trainers? Sticks10 here, and today we're going to take a look at factions a little bit deeper here for North America. I'm going to provide all of my rankings for week 1 and then some bouts to watch as well. We are going to go all the way from diamond tier all the way down to bronze tier. So let's jump right in. Diamond tier here, we've already covered this one in another video, so definitely check that one out if you guys haven't already. Provides a full breakdown of every team here in diamond tier. And so we are going to look at, so I've got Marylanders number 1, and then we've got Evan Stonks, Chicago Stars, Cool Cats, Swab Blues, we've got Sheldon, Mill Tanks, and then Omega Lol there, rounding off the top 8. Let's jump in and see where everybody is battling this week. So in that number 1 bout, we've got SoCal Swab Blues versus the Marylanders PvP. And that is the bout to watch, I think, this week. It's really going to show if the Marylanders can get their team together with 2 new players. We'll see how it goes. SoCal Swab Blue also added a new team member, so we'll see how the chemistry works for that team. This is my bout to watch this week, and I think it is going to come down to the field specialist, who's got the meta down, who is going to compete the best in that match. I am also going to make this my upset alert. Right now we do have Marylanders as number 1, and I think SoCal Swab Blues are going to take the win here. It is going to be a close match, but I've got them winning by 3. So SoCal Swab Blues, do it to them, and let's see if they can get that victory there. The other notable matchups here, Chicago Stars versus Canadian Shieldon, definitely going to be a close match there. Cool Cats versus Madison Mill Tanks. I think Cool Cats will take that one fairly easily. Evan Stonks versus Team Omega Lol. I think Evan Stonks is going to win that one as well, and their stock is going to continue to rise. Let's jump into the next rank, which is Platinum tier. And you can see here we've got number 1, E4 champions, Elite 4 champions there, Wing Attack, Dojo Squad, PA Berserkers, Deoxys, Alberta Forum, Icy Wind, Ohio Nation, who feels like I way underranked them, and they feel like they are going to not face relegation. So we'll see how that turns out. TNT Flingles round out the 8 for Platinum rank. If you guys haven't checked out the video, I do a full breakdown as well of Platinum tier in that video. And so here are the bouts for the first round here. And we've got a banger to start off. Wing Attack versus Elite 4. We got the 2 versus the 1. And I think this is the one to watch for. I think Elite 4 champions is going to be able to pull off a victory, but it's going to be a close one. I've got them winning by 1 point. I think it could go either way, but I'm going to give the edge to Elite 4 champions. Got Icy Wind versus PA Berserkers. Is another one that's going to be interesting. I'm not sure which way this one's really going to go. I'm going to give the edge to PA Berserkers, and we'll see how that one goes. Ohio Nation versus Deoxys Alberta Forum. This is going to be one where Ohio Nation needs to prove to me that they can win against a quality opponent here. So that's definitely it's going to affect their rank quite a bit if they can get that victory, move them up out of that 7th spot that I've got them right now. TNT Flingles, Dojo Squad. I'm going to give the edge to Dojo Squad, and I think they're going to win by 5 in that one. So definitely Platinum tier is going to shake out. I think it's going to be a lot of good matches here. And this is the first time we've done any rankings for Gold tier. But I've got in the number 1 spot, I've got Team Michigangar. I think they had a lot of quality wins, and their losses were against quality opponents that were in higher tiers. Number 2, I've got Helmet Heroes. So, safety first with this squad, and I think they definitely are going to look to be moving up into Platinum tier. Backstage Battlers also had a lot of really good wins, so I'm putting them at the number 3 spot. 4, we've got KK PvP Factions. I think they're pretty solid. 5, the Orlando Faction. 6, we've got HV Pogo Dojo. That is a mouthful to say. And I think they're in that, they maybe face that relegation battle. We'll see how it goes. 7, I've got East Caliper. Now, the reason for that, I just didn't see a lot of data where they faced really high-end opponents and won. And so that's why I'm putting them in the number 7 spot. I think as it shakes out, we'll see how they do. They've got some good battlers on their squad, though. And then we've got, in number 8, we've got Aquatail Hunger Force. Kind of the same thing. I saw a lot of battles where they lost against lower tier teams. So we'll see if they can prove a little bit better than just what they look like on paper. It's definitely why we do the battles. But there's your 1 through 8 rank for gold tier. And then for your bouts for week 1, we've got East Caliper versus the Orlando faction, Helmet Heroes versus Aquatail Hunger Force. The Backstage Battlers versus Michigingars is my game of the week here in gold tier. And I think I'm going to give the edge to Michigingars, and they're going to win by 3. But I think it's going to be very, very close. And then we've got HV Pogo Dojo. Like I said, that is a mouthful. Versus KK PvP Factions. Man, these are some tough names to say over and over again. That one's going to be close, I think, as well. I don't have a lot of data on those teams. And I didn't give East Caliper versus Orlando Faction. I think East Caliper will pull off the victory. And I'm going to give that one, I think they win by 3. Helmet Heroes versus Aquatail Hunger Force. I'm going to give them a decisive victory in this one by 7. We'll see if they can live up to the hype. And so we will move on to the next tier. We've got silver here. And so rank 1, I put Ann Arbor Arbox. They had some good victories against some higher tier teams. They did face some opponents, though, that knocked them down into silver tier. Northeast Battlers in number 2 are another one that I have high hopes for, and I think they can move up into gold tier. Mazer Gaming, looking at their data, they just didn't perform as well as I had hoped. They faced some really tough opponents and they lost. And then some of their victories against higher tier opponents were only 1-point victories. I think it's going to be interesting to see if they can get it together. They did have one change of a team member. They've added a team member. So that'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. Number 4, we've got the Body Slammers. Definitely will be a good team to watch. Muddy Waters in number 5. We got number 6 is Pogo Raiders. 7 is Sea Kingpin. Man, that is hard as well to say. And then number 8, I've got Verified 50 Club or V50 Club. I definitely feel like they just didn't, there wasn't enough data for the bottom 3 to really see how they're going to do against higher rank opponents. So let's jump into the bouts for this week. We're going to start off here. Mazer Gaming versus Northeast Battlers. This is my game of the week here. We've got number 2 versus number 3. I am going to give the edge to Mazer Gaming. They're going to win this one by 1 point. They're very consistent in winning by 1 point against some of their opponents. So I'm just going to say they win by 1 point. But I feel like this one is honestly a toss-up. We will see how they do, though. Next, we've got Muddy Water versus Verified 50 Club. I think Muddy Water pulls this one out by 3. We've got Ann Arbor Arbok versus Pogo Raiders. I've got Ann Arbor winning by 5 here in this one. A pretty decisive victory. And we've got Sea Kingpin versus the Body Slammers. And I'm going to give the Body Slammers the victory by 1 in that one. It's going to be a close one. And I think it will come down to those field specialists and if they can get the meta dialed in. And the final tier here that I'm going to rank is bronze tier. So we've got number 1 is the Pogoats. I felt like they had some decent wins against opponents of higher tiers, and their victory or their losses were against higher tier opponents as well. I think they have a really good chance of moving up into silver tier. We got number 2 as See You Later. They also had really good victories. And then we've got number 3 as Who's Your Daddies. I felt like they just didn't have as good of a performance as they would have hoped, obviously, ending up in bronze tier. They did have some really solid victories, though. For Play Rough Raiders, we got 5 as Utah Pokemon Rangers. Number 6 is Silph League SA, and SA is San Antonio there. I think this Texas team is going to prove that PvP in Texas is pretty strong. I think they have a chance maybe of not facing relegation, but right now I've got them in the 6th spot. 7, I've got Insynchronize. They just seemed not super consistent. They had some really good victories, and then they had some really terrible losses. So that's why I put them in the 7th spot. I think they are actually a pretty good team. And this bronze tier, they're going to be duking it out each week. So it's going to be tough competition here. Number 8, we've got Team Flurry on there. Just didn't see that they had any really solid victories against any higher ranked teams. So I put them in the 8th spot. We'll see how they perform. So we've got first bout here, and it's going to be Hoosier Daddies versus Silph League SA. I am going to give the slight edge there to Hoosier Daddies. We've got in the number 2, we've got Play Rough Riders versus Team Flareon. I'm going to give the nod there to Play Rough Riders. And then in my game of the week here in bronze tier is actually Utah Pokemon Rangers versus the Pogoats. And I'm going to give the victory here to the Pogoats by 5. I think that is going to be the pick that I go with. Insynchronize versus See You Later. I'm going to give a slight edge there to See You Later. I think they're only going to... this is going to be a very close one. I think they win by 1. But honestly, Insynchronize proved me wrong. I think you guys have a pretty solid squad. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. We are going to do follow-up videos to these. And I do want to show highlights and everything. So if your faction has highlights from the week, send them my way via Twitter. I'm going to try to make a form to also submit them. But I'll definitely be looking for those. We'll do breakdowns based on everything throughout the week as these bouts go on. And as we have data from last week, obviously the rankings will be updated and everything. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this type of content. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Definitely prove me wrong. I have no issue with you guys saying, you ranked us too low or you ranked this team too high. Hey, it's all in good fun. And honestly, if it motivates you guys to say, hey, people think we're underrated, prove me wrong. And definitely I'm going to update the rankings every week. I'm actually enjoying doing this a lot, so hopefully you guys enjoy the content as well. As always, I want to thank my Patreon supporters. You guys make these videos possible, supporting the channel, everything. Link in the description down below if you guys want to check that out. Definitely have some more content on there as well. And so I want to also thank you guys for liking, commenting on the last video. Really motivates me to do more of these. And hopefully you guys are enjoying Silph Factions. I know I am. Looking forward to this cycle and these bouts that are coming up. So as always, guys, like, comment, and subscribe, and keep on battling.